Hi, my name's Alistair White. I'm Year 2 Sports Coaching Development student at UCLan, and this is my TL2131 Sportsman in Action presentation. In this presentation I'll be talking about my 30-hour placement that I did working in the community, and I shall also be talking about the social benefits it brings to the community. I'll also be talking about how the effect on the community as a whole from the projects that the organisation ran to, that I previously mentioned in video 1. So a quick overview of my placement. I work with Preston North End Community and Education Trust, and I predominantly worked on 2 projects to complete my placement hours. I worked on the walking football project and also the soccer school project. Before I started this placement, I was hoping to firstly just gain experience of working with different age groups, something that I haven't really done much of. I've predominantly stayed with one age group. Secondly, seeing how the projects that are in place in the community affect people's lives in the community and all the benefits that it brings to them. So first of all, a quick overview of the walking football project. It's part of Preston North End's Health and Inclusion project, and it's aimed for 50-year-olds who struggle with their physical bodies obviously slowing down and becoming more of a struggle to participate in mainstream sport. So it's a slow game, so predominantly walking, anyone sprinting, jogging or any type of running, free kicks awarded to the other team. So it's all fair and equal and everyone participating. So you could have a 50-year-old in there and also a 78-year-old, and it will still be fair because obviously everyone's walking. It's non-contact sport, so injury risk is low, because obviously people with older bodies are more fragile. There's plenty of stoppages to allow people to recover from games. Also on one of the sessions on Friday, which I did for the placement, it has a social hour. So this consists of playing 1 hour football, and then the next hour just having tea or coffee, just socialising with everyone who's took part, the coaches, just talking and just enjoying themselves, because some people might live on their own and not be fortunate enough to be able to get out and talk to people, so it's nice just to have someone to chat to about anything. There's 3 different occasions this happens. There's every Tuesday at Play Football in the sports hall. There's every Thursday at Play Football again in the sports hall, but this is a women's only session. And then there is every Friday as well, from 11 till 1 for all genders on the 3G pitches, so they can have a bit more games and a round robin tournament. Next up is a little overview on the soccer school project. So when I worked on this project, it was Easter holidays, so people would turn up at 8:30 with their children, drop them off, and they come and pick them up again at 4 p.m. Standard sort of school day. Obviously you'd sort of have lunch in between and also breaks, so obviously it can be quite a tiring day, but in terms of physical activity, all the kids there and loads of physical exercise, running around, hitting the aims of national and local strategies in terms of achieving, taking part in physical activity. But more about this project. So it's aimed for 5 to 14-year-olds. Children are split up into groups based on the numbers on the day and the age groups we have on the day as well. And the day's just full of lots of football fun, so training drills, tournaments, and other fun football games that all the children can enjoy. No day is the exact same. We try to, part of the project, they try and make sure everything's different, and even if they have the same kids, do something different each day. And also it's a chance for Preston North End players to come and just meet some of the young fans in the community, which is really nice for some of the young children there. But it's also a great chance for children to develop their sporting and interpersonal skills, which is said on the PNE website, and just help their development in sport and also socially. So during the placement for the Walking Football project, the things I did were mainly just officiating games, obviously making sure everything was run fair and there wasn't any foul play, and making sure all the participants stayed safe and weren't injured. Alongside this, then socialising with a lot of the people there. Obviously, me being a student and then they've probably lived a completely different life to what I have of working life, so it's nice to sort of just have a chat with them and see what they've been up to and let them know what I've been up to, and it's just a very nice atmosphere, just being able to talk to people, just a general chat. It's nice. And for the Easter soccer camp, again officiating matches, I interacted with many of the children. Obviously a lot of them the younger ages need a lot more attention, having fun during the day and make sure they're not getting into trouble or upsetting each other. But also leading certain practices. So I was an assistant coach, so I could take the group and do a dribbling session, for example. And that was basically the day, and it was really good fun actually. But more about the social benefits that this brings to the community. So the trust goes out into the community and they focus on 4 key areas, which P&E's projects hope to hit. So they sort of focus on the sports participation, education, health and social inclusion. And the main overall aim is to empower individuals to improve their lives and their environment, which I think is a really powerful statement, as they are working really hard to make sure everyone's included and no one's left out, which I think is a massive barrier in sport nowadays. They have 5 main objectives. The first being providing employment opportunities for unemployed people. So it's not just looking at the participant side of things in the community, they're actually looking to get people similar to my age, 21, 22, 23, 24 maybe, to actually get involved with sport and help deliver the sport projects as a tool to help improve physical activity, improve their education for children, make sure them realise how important their health is, and not to leave anyone out basically. The second objective is to create a closer link between the pro clubs and the community. So obviously a lot of the top teams such as Man United, people like that, their players probably won't come into the community as much, so I think it's really important, Preston being quite a small city as well. The football club and all the professional players, they come and meet all the young fans, and it means a hell of a lot to them, because I remember when I was a young kid, you wanted to meet your favourite players and that. Fourth objective is preventing hooliganism and vandalism. Obviously, crime is a problem in any part of the country. So trying to reduce this is a massive problem. And I think the projects, they try and hit all areas. So health inclusion, there's other barriers for young children to make sure they stay out of problems. And then lastly, the 5th objective is maximising the facilities of the club. So using all the facilities and thinking, right, what projects can we run to make sure everyone's included, which I think is a really good idea, because some people might not be able to depend on disabilities, depend on whether they can get to the facility. I think it's a really important factor to consider. They also have 4 key core values, which again, similar to the quote I mentioned before, is really important because they aim to inspire, community, develop and sustain. So what it means by inspire, staff will strive to ensure all participants reach their potential, which I think really shows the staff care and they want to help everyone be in sport, because it's such a good thing to be a part of. Community, so obviously listening to the needs of the local area, so like what do they want to be active, because a lot of people might just be at home and just not be wanting to play sport, but if there's an organisation willing to listen to what people want to do, it will change participation rates and they'll just go up and up and up. obviously develop the trust services for participants, which will fit in line with the needs that have been identified. So obviously, for example, with a national strategy, the project will try and implement some of those strategies to make sure they're hitting the targets, to help locally hit targets and also add to the national targets. And lastly, sustain, so long-term impact on participants and stable community presence. So just, again, being involved in a healthy part of sport, it's just a massive, and not be excluded, because some people, like I previously mentioned, they live on their own, and it's a hard thing living on your own and having not a lot of friends and chance to socialise with people. So it's a real key fact having these projects put in place by Preston North End Community Education Trust. So, like I previously mentioned, there is a link with local strategies. So the strategy is called the Preston Physical Activity and Sport Strategy, which is between 2015 and 2020. So as part of this strategy, they want residents in the community all to do at least 30 minutes exercise per week. Ideally, according to the Chief Medical Officer's recommended guidelines, everyone should be doing 150 minutes of exercise per week, but obviously baby steps need to be taken first before you reach that sort of goal. Increase levels of walking within the community, communicating with people in the community to make them aware of regular sports participation opportunities, and provide new and fun, exciting opportunities for people to get involved and to reduce social isolation. So in relation to Preston's Community Education Trust project, they talk about the social inclusion side of things, they talk about the physical health side of things, and I think by doing the 30 minutes of exercise a week, in all Preston's projects, they all run for about an hour minimum. So everyone's doing physical activity for that amount of time. So, there's no concern on that. Everyone's obviously doing what is recommended, which is a real beneficial thing to do for the community, as you can see on one of the figures there. The child population, the inactivity is so much higher than the active people. So by having these projects in place, it allows people to hopefully change that around and make sure the active children is a lot higher than the inactive. Obviously increasing levels of walking within the community. All the sessions are physically active. Obviously I've done two extremes in the walking football and the soccer camps. Basically we're getting kids to run around as much as they want, just have fun playing football. Whereas the walking football is like where people 50 over might be struggling with their knees, back, hips, whatever physical problem it might be, and it's just making sure they're active and they can do what they can to reduce further health problems, such as heart problems, joint problems, muscular problems later in life. And it's reducing them, which is a real important strategy. Again, especially if you're living on your own and people haven't got the funds to go and live in a care home when they're 80 plus, whatever. So links with national strategies. So it's obviously the Lancashire Sport Partnership Strategy, which is 2017-2021. The role of this sports partnership is to change behaviours and build skills to enable physically active and sporting lifestyles. So obviously in relation to PNE projects, all the projects they're trying to implement, but also make you realise how important health is in the community. So like how important it is to take part in sport and socialise with your friends. And some of the aims that they hope to see Lancashire Sports Partnership is more healthy lives, empower people to get more involved, and enable communities to play more sport and be more active, and overall it's going to benefit because it's less strain on the NHS for people during their lives. It's not relying on being obese and having to struggle with the NHS problems due to their health problems. If they tackle it early at a young age, get them involved in sport, it's going to be a lot better. but not just the physical side of things. I want the social and mental well-being to improve alongside this health style. And I think especially with the Walking Football project, the social outlet's a massive thing. So so many people like that. I mean, even when I grew up playing football myself, they'd come to football and they'd just go home and that'd be it. They wouldn't socialise. Whereas this hour is sort of encouraging and promoting you to come out and just talk about anything. You haven't got to have the same interest in everyone, because you've got one same interest. You go to this session, so I think it's really important just getting people talking, and I think it's a really good thing for the community to have that closer link to then make people talk, and it'll spread throughout the community if you're a close-knit community. And lastly, they want to create opportunities for people to get involved with everyone, and no matter what barriers they could face, it doesn't matter. And I think the Education Trust is providing that, as they provide things like Premier League Kicks programme. So this is for people, you don't have to pay anything, you just turn up at a certain area and you'll just play football, and it's just a lot of fun really. Obviously some people might struggle with transport to facilities. They could, obviously the cost of it, sessions that they might struggle with, whereas that is just focusing on that. There could be other barriers such as disabilities. So there's a disability football session that P&E also run, which is specialised to disability players. They've got the right facilities and that they can work with there. And obviously the Walking Football, you've got obviously everyone the same age. There's going to be no unequal balance in teams because everyone's under the same rules and other things like that. So national strategy there is Sport England. So obviously Sport England's towards an active nation 2016-2021 is a massive and probably the most well-known strategy for people within sport, as the government have 5 outcomes, and that's physical well-being, mental well-being, individual development, social and community development, and economic development. Now all that sounds probably quite baffling to other people, but they want people to be fitter, they want people to be happy and not suffer from things like depression or things like that. They want individual development, so they want to help people like get involved with sport at an early age and give them the opportunities to potentially like grow through the levels of the game and reach elite level. You know, they just want to get them involved early. Social community development, obviously getting every single person within a community involved in some sort of activity. You know, just getting them like talking with each other and working together to not only create more cohesive community, but also it's a happier community. You know, no one's got any health problems, and in an ideal world, and obviously people are just happier, and it's just a lot better. There's obviously economic development as well, so obviously the more projects are run, Sport England will provide funding for, and also they've got links with other funders, so such as Premier League. They're helping to fund the PL Kicks programme. It's really important to make sure that these 5 outcomes are achieved, because in modern day sport now, everyone sort of sees the barriers, things like not being able to travel, disabilities could stop them, weight could stop them, bullying, all these barriers that are seen as a problem, people just forget to sort of try and fix or prevent. Whereas P&E are working really hard and looking at all these strategies to make sure they can link in with all their projects to make sure they eradicate all these barriers, which is a really important thing, as it's going to lead to obviously more tackles inactivity. There's going to be more positive attitudes in young people. It's going to show the importance of a healthy lifestyle, and again it reduces barriers that taking part in sport, and sport is a massive thing in life. As play sport, be active, and it'll lead you to a healthy, happier life. It's seen due to obviously endorphins and things like that released. So the overall effects on the community, obviously they've done the projects with those strategies in mind, like I've just previously said, but health problems for elderly people obviously decrease, so less stress on the NHS. obviously on the Walking Football website, they state obviously it reduces risk of coronary heart disease, strokes, and any other heart problems and joint problems that could be. It helps the physical activity and playing for longer. Obviously, increased participation at different levels. It's a massive problem that's been publicised a lot in the media, and all the projects that aim at the low inactive groups, which are real good things to target all ages, all genders, all disabilities, and other ethnic minority groups that are sort of forgot about. Obviously, alongside the increased health benefits, the more active community, Wolverton states that mortality rates will hopefully decrease alongside this, which means that obviously people are living longer, happier, fuller lives. Also, there's obviously, like I've mentioned numerous times now, the Trust is working towards local and national strategies, which is a real key thing, as the government want to succeed in these things by a certain date, and they want to improve it in activity. It's a real important thing, as more and more people in this country now are having health problems or mental problems or other problems that prevents them from taking part in sport. So hopefully by these projects they will tackle all these barriers and problems and mean everyone's going to be happier and live healthier lives. So overall, my thoughts after completing my 30 hours placement at PNE, Community Education, I feel as though I've really helped many members of the local community take part and really enjoy sport. I've really got involved with everyone there, so I haven't just done touch lines I've got in, I've spoke to so many people, I've found out so many things about people, like some funny stories from many of the people as well, and it's been really nice because it's showing that these projects are successful. Just seeing the numbers, I mean, during the two projects I've been doing, the Walking Football, we're getting 35 people turn up to play, for an hour. So we just did round robin tournament. Obviously, I worked a week for the Easter soccer camps, and there was about 40 kids there again each day. And it just shows how important sport is, and these projects are to people in this community. I'm also hoping after completing this, it's going to help me with my development as a coach and workforces. Hopefully when I'm qualified enough, I can have paid work opportunities given to me, which is a massive thing, which I look forward to, as I've really enjoyed working in the community and helping people with these other social benefits, like improving their health, their social well-being and the mental well-being, things like that. And that's my presentation. Thank you very much for listening.